Here. So I just wanted to talk with you a little bit, and this video is about to be fucking crazy, like, just so you know, so keep your eyes peeled. I don't know, I don't care if this is uneven, I don't give a fuck at this point. Like, I have to tell you guys, it's a mess in the background, whatever. So bitch, this tea is hot, like, you're gonna want to listen. Last night I watched this movie called My Scientology Movie, and it was written and directed by this guy Louis Theroux. Up until this point, like most people, I don't know anything about Scientology really. I just knew that like Tom Cruise was in it and it was some weird kind of culty thing. I think John Travolta had something to do with it at one point. Whatever. I didn't really know a whole lot about it though, so I saw this documentary and I was like, oh shit, okay, I'll watch this. We'll see what's up. Let me preface this video before I have all you little weirdos commenting like mean shit towards me, whatever, saying I don't know shit. I don't know shit. This is all basically what I have Googled. What may be a biased or unbiased internet website, whatever. I watched a couple different videos from people on YouTube, and I read a couple things, and basically I'm gonna talk about Scientology before I talk about this movie, just in case some of you that don't know what I'm talking about have a little bit of an understanding, because this shit's crazy. I had no idea how crazy it really was until I watched this documentary last night. What you need to know about Scientology is, so there's this guy named L. Ron Hubbard back in the day, and he was a science fiction writer, and he wrote this book trying to get people to read it for medical practices. He wanted people to use it to figure out how to heal themselves naturally without medicine, and doctors weren't with that shit, obviously. Fast forward, he just decides to make a religion out of it and get some money off of it and capitalize off of this book that he made, which is how I feel. So he gets all these celebrities to try and hop on this religion, but he doesn't really tell them it's a religion, whatever. It's really weird, but irrelevant. So people start following this dude, L. Ron Hubbard, and this book, and he opens this church called the Church of Scientology. Okay. That's all you need to know. There's this weird shit that apparently happened. I don't know if it happened in the 80s or the 90s, but he got all of these like people in Scientology like that followed his religion to infiltrate government facilities and steal information about Scientology or people that are trying to like fuck with Scientology. Like, it was crazy. The FBI was all over it. L. Ron's wife got arrested for being a part of this too, and L. Ron was in hiding until his death. And then this crazy dude named David Miscavige took over. Still alive, still runs a church today. Now I'm going to tell you guys this story of what Scientologists actually believe. I guess sometimes Scientologists have said that this isn't real and they don't really believe this, but it's in L. Ron Hubbard's book, so it's really debatable. It's on paper. So there's this alien overlord named Xenu, and he was in charge of the galaxy and all these other aliens, and they wanted to overthrow his shit. I'm really like condensing this story, by the way, but everything that I'm saying is like what happened. So he captures these aliens and puts them in volcanoes. Then he puts carbon bombs in the volcanoes and their souls float up into the sky. But Xenu thought about that shit, right? So he got these soul catchers, and then he took the souls and put them in humans. And that's why humans have all these issues and shit. And basically what Scientologists believe, if you do these little like weird rituals where you basically do this lie detector medical thing, that you can be rid of these problems that these aliens have in you. It's crazy, I know. Louis Theroux wrote this movie, and he's a pretty normal dude. Pretty standard, just a guy that made a documentary. But he does have this dude on the show called, his name is Mark Rathbun. Okay, dude's got fucking issues. This was the part where I was like, oh my god, it's happening. What is this about? Because I was waiting for the crazy shit to happen in the documentary, and this dude was the start of the crazy shit. So Mark Rathbun was like the enforcer for the Scientologists, and basically this dude was cracking heads and taking names for people that were fucking with Scientology, that were non-believers, and he was just like enforcing stuff within this church. He was in it for like ever years, like decades, I don't even know, and he got out of it right recently, like super recently, and he exposed the religion like in this documentary, talking about David Miscavige, who's the head of the church, is a psycho and like keeps people captive on these like weird little houses, and he's just exposing everything, talking about all the crazy shit that happened inside of the church, because this guy Louis Theroux could not get inside the church. They wouldn't show him anything, like nobody would talk to him. This is where it got crazy, because you could see that like halfway through the documentary, this guy Mark Rathbun was fucking weird and like not right in the head, because he kept having like weird emotional outbursts throughout the movie and like just being awkward. Also, he seemed really like creepily happy when they were talking shit about this Miscavige dude. It was strange. Now what's even stranger, I guess if you were in the church, like the Scientology church, and you don't fucks with it anymore, they basically destroy you, like destroy your life. They have these people called squirrel busters, and they follow you like in real life throughout your life and just talk shit and say horrible things to you and call you all these weird like names, and they just shame you. You're totally shamed and you're banished basically from this church. The Rathbun dude had been having this happen to him for evsies. This was where the tea gets hot. At the end of the movie, the Scientology movie, which is a great movie, it's very well organized. I thought it was great for what was able to happen. Like, I thought Louis Theroux made a perfect movie. It was great, but this shit's crazy. Like, he needed to expose it. I'm so proud of you. Like, go Louis, whatever. The Rathbun dude, at the end of the movie, these squirrel buster people came up and was like, how much money are you making? How much are they paying you for this documentary in between your adopted child? Like, they brought his kid into this, what the fuck? And he was just shocked that they brought his kid into it, and I was like, wow, okay. So, the movie ends, and it was real awkward and weird at the end between Rathbun and Louis, but whatever. I'm like, oh god, I have to learn more about this religion. So I start watching videos and reading shit, and then I watch this video, and Mark Rathbun is literally defending Scientology in this video, and I'm like, what? Are you serious? And he don't even get views like that. Like, he's not even popping. So I'm like watching, and he's like, Scientology is good and blah blah blah, and I'm like, oh fuck, like, did they threaten this dude? What is the deal? Because it looked like they already had brought up his kid, and so I bet he's being threatened by this church. If you guys don't think that this church is crazy at all, they have this thing that I'm for sure exists called the Hole, and they keep people that they feel like are conspiracy, like just trying to fuck with the church, that are inside of the church. So anybody that they think is like not doing good for the church goes to this place called the Hole, and they have to live there for weeks, like live in this place and get tortured. And it's crazy. So I'm like, they're probably like threatening this dude's kid if he doesn't come back with the church because he's slandering Scientology. And they have this whole rule where you have to keep Scientology going. Like, you have to do everything to make sure nobody talks shit. Like, they're extremely sensitive. And so this dude's like, really, it looked so creepy. Like, he looked forced. He was reading notes, and I'm like, what? And so I'm thinking that he's like being put up to this. But then I found out the Scientologists, they're so intense on people being part of this religion and like not talking shit. Like, they're so enforcing of people not talking shit about this religion. You can get sued by the Church of Scientology. Like, your life could be ruined. They can make it so you can't get jobs, all of this stuff. And basically, they have a history of cutting deals with people that are talking shit about Scientology. So they'll say, okay, well, you have to join the church and be all about the church and say good things about the church, but we're going to pay you $5 million. But you can't get all this money at once, so you have to like be a part of this church for increments of time and get this money. So they'll be like, we'll give you $100,000 every 6 months. And so you have to wait the 6 months to intercept the money. And so what I'm thinking is they cut this dude Rathbun a check, and even at the end of the movie, he's like, I'm unemployable. So I was like, okay, this dude can't get a job. He's fucking crazy. Obviously, he probably just took this deal. Like, throughout the whole movie, this dude's a fucking dumbass. Like, he's so stupid. And then he takes this deal. He just looks ridiculous. And he has no ounce of credibility at this point because he's trying to say all this stuff that happened within the church, and now he's for the church. Bitch, what? I just went off. I'm so sorry. So I'm like, oh my God. I'm just reading all this crazy shit about it, and then on top of that, I'm just like, I love Tom Cruise. He seems like a legit dude, and he's a part of this, and he's really high up. So another thing about this religion that I was like, holy fuck, is there's this thing called the Sea Org, which like, if you pay to get up in these levels in Scientology, the highest level is this like Sea Org, and you have to sign your spirit and whatever yourself over to work for these Scientologist people for 1 billion years. Not like till you die, till 1 billion years, because they believe that like after you die, you ascend into different form. Like, it's fucking weird. So my question is about this movie and about Scientology as a whole is, how did this get this out of control? Like, how did it get this crazy? Sure, this is a fucking cult. Like, it is a cult. I also think it's like a pyramid scheme in a way, because if you get people to join Scientology, you somehow get commission off of them. It's just a giant shit show, and it's somehow okay with the government. I don't know. But I don't slander anybody that gets part of a cult, because anybody that's in a low point in their life or they're very vulnerable can get easily suckered into this shit, like easily. So I feel a little bit bad for Mark Rathbun that it's gotten this far for him, but I'm just like, fuck, what the hell is this? I think it's a numbers thing though. Like, after the cult got so huge and so much coverage in the media, I think that it just spiraled out of control, and that now it's this thing and it's fucking crazy and these people are brainwashed, and yeah. So yeah, that's how I feel. I didn't want this is not a political channel, you guys, by the way. Like, I'm just so shocked, and this channel is my channel. I just like talking about stuff that is captivating, makes me happy to talk about. So I'm not gonna be talking about like Trump or transgender rights or none of that shit, okay? This is literally like probably the only political video I'm gonna be making. I just thought it was so crazy. Go Louis Theroux. I'm gonna keep watching your videos, like, or your movies. They're fucking great. Like, that was such a very, like, it was so well put together. Everything's awesome. Yeah, so thanks for watching this video. I hope you guys had some interest. I know, like, it was hard to listen, and it's a little crazy, and what I sound like I'm saying is crazy, but this is what happened. I don't know if it's gonna even make sense, but yeah, love you guys. Keep watching my videos, subscribe.